Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the first annual Ohio High School Ethics Bowl. My name is Matt Stolick. I'm chair of the Department of Religious Studies and Philosophy and professor of philosophy here at the University of Findlay. And I want to thank the University of Findlay and the Weinbrenner Seminary for providing a place for this event. I want to thank the judges and moderators for giving your precious time this Saturday. I sincerely appreciate your sacrifice, and I pray you're greatly blessed for it. I want to thank and praise our 4 coaches and 22 students who've prepped to participate today in this inaugural event. I pray this is a formative, life-directing experience for every last one of you. You're stepping out into the unknown today, trusting you'll perform well. I admire your courage, gameness, and spirit. In preparing for this event, you've already succeeded. Concept of the Ethics Bowl, a competition between teams making arguments, presenting positions about the ethical implications of controversial cases, is said to have originated with Bob Levinson in 1993. And then 3 years later, in 1996, was the first intercollegiate ethics bowl. And that was held under the auspices of the Association for Practical and Professional Ethics, and we call it APPE or APPE. And so this year is the 20th ethics bowl at the collegiate level under APPE's guidance. 6 years ago, my esteemed friend and then colleague, Rich Smith, was involved in APPE and the Ethics Bowl as a judge, and he invited me to witness this event for myself. And then I seized the opportunity to become a judge 5 years ago. I've judged every year since. With this event, I sense I've stumbled upon something of life-defining importance. This event works. Students love it, and real measurable goals are met. Ethics Bowl is authentic ethics education. My first time as an Ethics Bowl judge was an awesome experience that left me rather speechless. It's an honor to be involved in this event, to witness these students transformed. I was so impressed by students doing exactly what I would want them to do after an ethics course, best case scenario, thinking on their feet, looking at issues from various perspectives, having humility to be able to acknowledge powerful counter-arguments to their own position. And we need Ethics Bowl to counter trends in society today. I'm struck by how many in society present one-sided, biased arguments that oversimplify deep controversies. It seems the norm to have bombastic mudslinging on a regular basis. This sort of yelling at each other approach seems hugely popular in today's society. In these staged yelling matches, responses are predictable, dogmatic, and one-sided. So 2 primary reasons for organizing an Ethics Bowl is first, the positive impact on the participant's character. Secondly, to counter the dire state of American public discourse today. Although the Intercollegiate Ethics Bowl is in its 20th year, the first National High School Ethics Bowl was only in 2013, very recent, 4 years ago. And just last year, in February 2015, I went to a breakout section at the APPE conference, and it was on high school ethics bowls. And I discovered at that breakout that there were no high school ethics bowls in the state of Ohio. And there were none even in the works. I can't really explain what happened to me there and afterwards, but it seemed to me that this was a golden opportunity. I sort of looked around and wondered why somebody wasn't doing something about this, and then realized I was the person that had to do something about this. And so I had to step up and put this together to get it done. Now, Ethics Bowl is not a debate. In Ethics Bowl, teams are not required to pick opposing sides, nor is the goal to win the argument by belittling the other team or its position. Ethics Bowl at heart is a collaborative discussion, yet competitive event in which teams analyze a series of wide-ranging ethical dilemmas. The goal is to demonstrate breadth and depth of thinking about difficult and important ethical situations. Breadth, or the myriad of positions and points of view and interest involved in a case, and depth of those interests that are mainly involved. What exactly is the nature of those concerns? The winning teams acknowledge different sides and interests. And in the very scoring of the Ethics Bowl, teams must explicitly acknowledge and present their opponent's perspectives. Respectfulness is at the heart of the Ethics Bowl. This is an amazing, unique event in our world. I believe these Ethics Bowl matches are going to leave a great impression on you, and I want to hear about it. Please provide feedback. And I also encourage you to give me contact information, stay in touch with me in planning for the second annual high school ethics bowl, which I plan on running the Super Bowl Saturday next year. If you want to see your students doing what you see these students doing today, reflective, thoughtful, civil, courteous, broad and deep discussion on major controversial ethical issues, get them involved in the ethics bowl. So please, before you leave today, I ask you to provide feedback on the feedback forms. And although I'm starting small this year, I'm looking to grow. I'm looking for sponsors. I'm looking for more Ohio high schools. I think you'll see all the basics are there this year, and I look forward to accommodating more high schools and teams competing at this event in future years. So the 15 cases for our bowl were written by a committee at the national headquarters, the National High School Ethics Bowl at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. There's one set for this regional, and then there's going to be a second set. The winner of our regional match will go on to play Chicago, the winner of the Chicago regional. And the winner of our match against Chicago will go on to be one of the 24 teams at the national high school competition. So, you've read through the cases: lowering the age for voting, genetic selection for deafness, ice water ethics, for-profit schools, reacting to racist chants, fire at the Louvre. I can't wait to hear if you're going to go save that Mona Lisa or you're going to go save a human being as the Louvre burns down. Technology's graveyards, reporting on a scandal, don't help me, breastfeeding cover-up, transgender and Medicaid, ban the box, not being allowed to pay ransom to save your family from ISIS, swimming for free, modern debtor's prison. As you can see from these cases, ethical issues are all over the place. Controversial practices we should discuss reflectively and attempt to resolve, or at least learn more about. And please feel free to take one of the case packets I've provided at the sign-up table outside. As audience members, you can get much more out of the discussions you will witness, as the discussions will be based upon some of these cases in the packet. And for teachers to incorporate Ethics Bowl into their curriculum and make this work, they should think of Ethics Bowl as a pedagogical activity. And so every September, this national organization comes out with this new set of cases, and I can envision high schools getting right on this in September and having a course somehow revolving around these cases. And so your students are going to learn public speaking, critical thinking, moral reasoning, team building. You basically have 4 to 5 peers meeting over a period of 8 to 10 weeks at a time. They get good at working together, collaborating on tough cases. They have to come to a team opinion on controversial issues that they don't necessarily agree with. And coming together is the key, and it can happen in a civil way. So instead of spinning and smearing and attacking in pop culture, we engage in rational, respectful civil discourse. And I'm picking this up as well. Students at your campus, students at your high school, start talking about these cases with each other. We start talking about them out in the open. These become really great learning opportunities for students and those around the students. So the real value is creating a culture of rational, meaningful civil discourse. At the end of today's competition, we'll have the first Ohio regional champion. And within the next 2 weeks, they'll play the winner of the Chicago regional to earn a place in the national championship in April. Whether or not we get in this year, today is a success in that the event's now underway in Ohio. And we can plan starting with the next batch of cases in September 2016 for the second annual High School Ethics Bowl, hopefully with more students and more schools committed. So my final comments are on the format for today and the format for each match today. So the format today will have you, as soon as we're done here in the auditorium, you either come here for your first match in the auditorium, or you'll go upstairs in room 254 for your first match. If you don't have a match in the first round, you're certainly welcome to be a member of the audience, either here in the auditorium or up in 254. You can see judges will be seated in the middle. Teams are seated on each side of the judges. The moderator stands, moves around, and the moderator's in control, keeping time, keeping us moving through the match. The program has assigned rooms, teams, and judges. There's one change on the program that I want to make, and so that's for the 2:30 bye round. The first match listed there is Coldwater versus Riverdale. That's going to be instead Coldwater versus St. Ursula 1. So on the program for the 2:30 bye rounds, the first match is Coldwater versus Riverdale. That should be changed to Coldwater versus St. Ursula 1. And so St. Ursula 1 will get their third match there, and Riverdale will already have had their 3 matches before that. Okay, so we'll have 2 matches. At 12:15 is the end of your second match. As soon as your second match ends, come on down and have pizza. And the pizzas will be here around 12:15, and we don't want to really dilly-dally around between the second and third matches. So as soon as you're done with the second match, come on down, get pizza, there'll be refreshments, lemonade, ice water, etc. And then at 1 o'clock we'll go right into our third round, and then into our fourth round. After the fourth round, I'll immediately announce the 2 final teams, and then we will have the championship match here to finish our day of the Ethics Bowl. At the end, then, I will give medallions to the runner-up and trophies to the winning team, and there are certificates for every student who participates today. And the match format, one more time, the match format, basically a coin toss to see who's going to be Team A, who's going to be Team B, introductions all the way around, and then the first case. So the moderator reads the first case to Team A. They have 2 minutes to confer, 5 minutes to present. And then Team B has 2 minutes, 1 minute to confer, 3 minutes to respond. And then Team A has 1 minute to confer, 3 minutes to respond to Team B's commentary. And then the final part will be 30 seconds for the judges to confer, and then 10 minutes for the judges. 1 question and 1 follow-up for each judge. Judges will do their final scoring, and then Team B presents and Team A does commentary. At the end of the match, respectfulness points are given, 1 to 5 points for each team. And then the moderators will ask the judges to announce who they found as the winner of the match. Again, I sincerely thank you for the sacrifice you're making today. You're helping to start something that has the potential to be a social force for positive social change. Let the games begin. And with that, I'll dismiss you to the auditorium, to 254, or to an audience at one of those 2 places. Thank you very much.